How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be doing a review on a load of the boxing gloves I wore in my professional boxing career, giving a review, a rating, and describing why some are better than others from my own experiences in fights. So let's go. Now, firstly, I'm going to start off with the Ringside. Now, I wore these gloves in my fight against Lewis Isaacs, which was the biggest fight of my professional boxing career. These gloves are really nice. When you're a professional, the British Boxing Board of Control will bring you your gloves in the changing room. You'll see here, you've got the British Boxing Board of Control logo. So yeah, when they brought these ones, I was actually pretty chuffed because I've worn some pretty bad boxing gloves as a pro. They look good with the kit. They're pretty basic, but all in all, they're nice. I liked them a lot. In regards to comfort, as soon as I put my hands in, I was like, whoa, these are good. I don't know. It's just when you start hitting the pads and you can press your knuckles together, you just get a feel of the glove. So I was really happy with these. I did actually break my hand with these gloves in that fight. I think that was more down to the fact that Isaacs had one of the hardest heads in the world because I hit that guy so much and he just kept coming. I don't think that was down to the glove. To be honest with you, when you're wearing boxing gloves, these are only 8 ounces. They're really small. Most of the padding in the professional glove is here too. Whereas here, you'll find different variations with some, but there's not a huge amount of padding here. So all in all, yeah, I really like them. They felt nice when you hit clean, felt nice on the pads, and other than breaking my hand in them, which I'm not going to hold against the glove, they served me really well. So all in all, I'm going to give them roughly around an 8. I don't know the pricing for them, but I will look it up and put it in the video when I edit. And I would definitely recommend any professionals sourcing fight gloves to have a look at the Ringsides because they're, as far as I'm aware, affordable and good quality. So number 2 are my 14-ounce Fly Sparring Gloves. Now, I was very lucky because Ellie Scottney, who is now a world champion in the female rankings, gave me these gloves as her hand-me-downs, as well as a Fly headgear and as well as the Fly groin guard. So I was very lucky. The headgear, I really didn't get on with. It used to move around, used to block my head. I just did not get along with it. It was very slippy. But the gloves, these gloves here are very nice. Now, as you can see, these are 14 ounces. Compare that to them, which are much smaller. So they're sort of a different design. You're going to be wearing these kinds of gloves sparring. Now, they're pretty pricey, but they're very good quality. I never had a problem with my hands wearing these gloves. I used to spar them a lot. They're pretty heavy, so it used to fatigue my shoulders. Even having boxed for 10 years, my shoulders would fatigue wearing them. But all in all, they were top quality. These were soft, really comfortable to put your hands in, similar to quite a few of the other top level gloves. But for me, I would give these a solid 8.5 out of 10. Extremely comfy on the pads, bags, never once hurt my hand in them. And I think they look cool as well. And Fly are like some of the hottest gloves in the world right now. So if you've got the money, get a pair because they're good quality. Next up at number 3, we have the big daddy of boxing gloves, the Grants. The most illustrious and elusive gloves in boxing. It is so hard to get a legitimate pair of gloves, Grant gloves, and they are expensive. However, oh my God, they are the nicest gloves I have worn. These are a straight up 10 out of 10. There's a reason all of the top fighters use these. These ones here are 8-ounce fight gloves, so they're nice and light, nice and crisp. Puncher's gloves, very, I believe that is leather. Correct me if I am mistaken, but very snappy, very solid. Man, the only fault I will actually say with my Grants, I've worn a few pairs now, is that they do wear away inside quite easily. I think they're horsehair because I sometimes pull my hand out and you get a load of hair coming with it. Other than that, they're amazing, man. You feel like Ernie Shavers hitting the bag with these. They're just so crisp and powerful. These are a 10 out of 10. Very expensive, pretty elusive to get hold of, but if you get the opportunity, snap them up. At number 4, we are going to go with the legendary Mexican Cleto Reyes. Now, I've had various experiences with the Reyes. or the Reyes, however you say it. These here, these black ones, these Juan Manuel Marquez ones, are 8 ounces. These are beautiful. I'm just going to say straight up, these are a 10 out of 10. I've heard people say to me before that you feel like you've got shotguns on your hands when you're wearing Reyes. And yeah, they are just so solid, but they're also cushiony as well with these ones. I love them. They're my favorite gloves to hit pads with. They're very solid in protecting your hands. And man, like they just thud whatever you're hitting. However, I have also had a pair of 14 ounces and a pair of 16 ounces. I had the white 14 ounces and the yellow 16 ounces. I didn't really get on with the much bigger Reyes. I don't know why. I just found them a bit clunky. These were like actual rocks on your hands. Like they were much more solid than the 8 ounces there. And they used to wear like the colouring on them. It was almost like paint used to crack off. With the yellow 16 ounces, they were great because it was after I broke my hand against Isaac's. I could only use the right hand for probably about 3 or 4 months in the gym. And I never once hurt my hand. Sometimes because they're so solid, they would occasionally ache the knuckles. But all in all, I'd give the Sparring Gloves a 7 out of 10. But these 8 ounce black ones are a 10 out of 10. They are currently my favourite glove, even above the Grants. And next up, we're going to go with the Winnings, the Japanese gloves. In my opinion, the best training gloves in boxing. Again, expensive, but man, these things are like pillows on your hands. One of my biggest regrets in boxing, seeing as I've become a little bit of a glove collector now, is leaving my Winnings in the gym. I had Winnings for probably about 5 years, the same pair, a white pair. And when they came, they were the most beautiful, crisp things you'd ever see. I've got a good 5 years out of my Winnings. They do wear and tear on the outside, but on the inside, they stay solid. They are the most comfortable gloves I've ever worn. They're not huge puncher's gloves. They're more designed to protect your hands, but they just feel so nice. If you want to spar, again, they're expensive, but if you want the top quality, it's worth it because they're going to last you. When you're sparring, they just feel beautiful when you land them on your opponent. Best training gloves I ever wore. I would say the Reyes and the Grants are probably better for fight. Well, definitely better for fighting and definitely better for thudding that power. But the Winnings are so comfortable and just great at protecting your hands. Right, next up are the Lomachenko Rivals. I can't remember what the actual technical term for them is, but I just remember Lomachenko knocking out Rocky Martinez in brutal fashion with him, and I was like, oh, I got to cop a pair of them. I actually got offered them by someone I knew, and I was, man, looks-wise, they're very unique, very different. They've got that Matrix look to them, but I really liked them. Now, my review on these gloves might be harsh because I actually think I got a pair of snidey ones. I don't think they were top quality because of all of the other gloves I've worn. These were just, they really hurt my hands almost every time I hit pads. I'm going to give these a 3 or a 4 on regards to quality, but as I say, I have other rival gloves similar and they are comfortable 9. My kind of review on these is probably a little tainted just because I don't think I bought a legitimate pair. However, they look cool when I was boxing and sparring and I felt like Lomachenko. So for that, I can give it an extra few. Right, Everlast Power Lock. I had the red ones in the gym. This was in the boxing booth gym. I've been lucky with gloves. I've been able to wear pretty much every glove I've ever wanted to wear. And the boxing booth gym were providing quite a few top-level lace-up gloves from Everlast. These ones here were really solid. Sparred in them, done pads in them. They would absolutely pop the bag when you landed just because they were so solid. The leather, as far as I'm aware, didn't get on too well with them. I didn't find them as comfortable as the Reyes or the Grants or the Winnings. I'd give these a solid 7 out of 10. Man, when you crack someone with a slip right hand, they felt amazing. But in regards to overall wear, I'd occasionally hurt my hands in them. I'd catch my thumb on it a little bit. All in all, they look nice. But for me, I'd give them around a 7 out of 10. Maybe pushing an 8, depending on your taste. Right, next up, the VIP gloves. Now, I've worn these a few times and I've had mixed feelings on these. So when you're a small hall boxer, people look at the Grants, they look at the Reyes, and they think, oh man, boxing must be so illustrious, so cool. You get to choose all these gloves. But trust me, man, in small hall boxing, it's not that great. You'll just get someone that comes with a big bag of gloves that have been used on the last 20 shows, and you can just pick one. And my last fight when I was boxing at the Indigo at the O2, that happened. There were about 4 or 5 pairs. I was first on the card, and they just said, which ones would you like? They had a red pair, a couple of blue pairs, and a yellow pair. And I'd seen Oscar De La Hoya wearing the yellow pair in his pro debut, and I just thought they looked cool. So I went for the yellow pair with the black trunks, even though Oscar had the white trunks on. And they were all right. I liked how they looked. I always liked sort of colourful gloves, white gloves, yellow gloves, you know. And it was a bit of a homage to Oscar. Again, I hurt my hand in these. My hands were up balloons after the fight. They even had blood on actually when I picked them out of the bag because they'd been used before. So they probably had a little bit of wear and tear on them. Poor fella I hit him with ended up getting stopped. And I also boxed a guy called Lee Hallett with these, and he'd be more than happy to say, because I've said it, I've cracked his ribs. So there was very, very little on these gloves. When I actually boxed Lee, I couldn't get my hands in them. They were too small. My hands, it felt like I was losing circulation in the blood in my hands. They were so tight. So I'd give them a 6 out of 10. They're good if you want to hurt people, which you kind of do in boxing to a certain degree. But yeah, you're not going to have very strong hands for a long career if you wear them every fight. Make sure you subscribe to the page if you like the content. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. It's Dan Morley Boxing. My TikTok and my it's X now. I nearly called it Twitter. It's Dan Morley Boxer. Follow the accounts and let me know what you want in the comments in regards to new content.